I'm Erin Wells with ERA King Real Estate, and I'm here today with Bryan Booth with Advantage Construction, and we are at 208 Afton Bray Drive in Anniston, and this house is listed for sale. And Bryan just finished up the remodeling work on this house early last year, and we're excited to go over some details with you guys and to talk a little bit about it. So Bryan, if you don't mind, would you just kind of tell us what you started with and what your vision was for this property?
The house is an early 60s rancher that frankly had been neglected, which is pretty common. I think it's kind of human nature. You live in a house and you kind of tend to overlook the things that go wrong and whatnot. And so this house had been that way, but we just kind of saw the possibilities for it. And so we just decided to come in and, well, for instance, we're sitting in what was once a wall that was typical of the period. The ranchers, they would have a formal living room on the front of the house and then an informal on the back. And that's just not how things are done nowadays. You know, we want open spaces. So that's what we tried to do here. And
I like to point out too with this house, this is not an ordinary flip house. This is an absolute remodel that you went full force on it. Talk a little bit about like roof and windows, those kind of things that people don't like to have to come in and do when they buy a house.
Right. Well, and yeah, that's one of the things we try to do is, I want to build it as if I was doing it for myself. How would I want it done? So that's one of the things that we did. We replaced the roof. The windows in the house were in decent shape, but they weren't the most energy efficient. They were the older single pane windows, and I just felt like it was something that just needed to be done. It's what I would do if I were doing it for myself. So that's kind of how I treated it.
And I see, and it's evident too, just looking, you chose the farmhouse style, which is so. Tell us a little bit about the farmhouse style and why you chose it.
Well, everybody's seen Chip and Joanna Gaines, #shiplap, I guess. And they're probably the ones I think that are responsible for popularizing it, I think, just over the last several years. And that's largely the reason that we've done it. It's popular, but my wife and I have always liked the simple style. We don't care for what my wife calls frou-frou, a lot of real ornate, just simple, clean lines, and that's just kind of what we wanted to do here. So.
Well, and shout out to Stacy too, because she picked the color palette. We're going to show you guys a picture of the original outside of the house, and she picked the colors and just did a fantastic job on that. And I do have to ask you too, Bryan, now you are a home inspector.
That's right.
You have
home builder and home inspector.
That's right. And so tell us about how your role as a builder and an inspector factored in when you were doing the work here.
As an inspector, I see a lot of houses that are being remodeled or flipped, if you will, that typically, I guess the old expression, maybe lipstick on a pig, they try to do what I call the eye candy, and they don't necessarily pay attention to the stuff that's hidden. And again, I'm looking at this from the perspective of how would I want it done if I were living here. So there were I've done some things here that people might not necessarily see, but I just wanted to do them the right way, I guess.
And last question for you. What's your favorite feature of the house? There's a lot to choose from.
Probably the master bathroom, the way it worked out. We enlarged it a little bit so that we could add that separate toilet space and whatnot. And I guess one of the things that I like about it is I was able to incorporate a door. The door's probably older than the house, I guess. I'm not really sure how it got here, but the door that was in the basement to use as a sliding barn door for part of the bathroom. And to me, it just has that old rustic feel to it. So, and I like doing that, incorporating older things in a new build. So.
Awesome. Well, it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to show us around. And we're looking forward to seeing your next one too.
Great. Looking forward to doing it.
Absolutely. I'm Erin Wells with ERA King Real Estate. If you are interested in buying or selling, please give me a call. And by all means, if you're interested in seeing this house, please give me a call. I'd love to show it to you.